What's up, YouTube and Facebook and all the other social media outlets that are involved in this? Go ahead, hit that like, hit that subscribe, become a part of the Uncle Fred experience. I promise you won't be disappointed. Comment and subscribe. Hit the notifications because I put out videos several times during the week, so you'll know the latest on what's going on in the mind of Uncle Fred. Let's get this light right because I think the light not exactly how it needs to be here. Yeah, all right. A little better, a little better, a little better. All right. Had time to sleep on that. I debated whether to go online last night after the game, and I decided to sleep on it because sometimes when you have time to sleep on things, sometimes cooler heads will prevail, and sometimes when you do stuff in the heat of the moment and in the height of your emotional instability, what have you, you might say some things that you might want to take back. So I had time to sleep on it. I had everything prepared. I got off of work and I had to let me go on and get this set up. And I was like, no, let me sleep on it. Okay. First of all, Cowboys get a win 27-17 over the New Orleans Saints, or what was left of the New Orleans Saints, last night in Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans, Louisiana. And I've had time to think about it. And whereas I kind of, and this video is going to kind of maybe seem disjointed because maybe y'all don't have kids, but if you have kids, there's going to be sometimes you got to get up in them, but you still realize they're still your kids. And at the end of the day, like, okay, let's go out and have a good day. And, hey, man, you got potential. You can still do with this, that, or whatever. But you did something I didn't like, or you're not performing in a class or in a whatever, in a baseball game or whatever the game, not as well as I would like. And they might need a little attitude adjustment. You might need to get after them just a little bit. You might need to say some choice words to them. You may need to let them know, like, hey, you're better than this. Get it together. And then afterwards, you say, all right, man, go knock them out. We know you got it in you, So that's kind of how this video is going to come across. Okay. Now, as an organization, and let me say this. Now, I understand all of the things that went on in the weeks leading up to this game, or the week leading up to this game after Thanksgiving. We had a lot of things that transpired. It was a COVID outbreak. And I think that's an organizational thing. I'm sorry. I think that's an organizational thing. I think perhaps maybe the organization is not looking at this thing as seriously as it should, letting a lot of things slide, letting a lot of things. So a lot of guys will end up getting it in. We have more COVID cases than anybody in the NFL right now. Okay. Speaks to some things. Okay. Then you got, since last time I spoke to you, couple of practice squad players have gotten it. Blake Jarwin, who was on injured reserve, you're rehabbing. How you get it? But I mean, he coming to the facility, I guess, and get treatments and stuff. So, Terrence Steele, the left tackle, right tackle, sorry, ended up with it. Nashawn Wright, our cornerback, who plays a lot of nickel and also plays little special teams and stuff like that. He ends up with it. Amari Cooper had it and was coming off of it. Didn't do well in the weeks leading up to practice. This thing affects different people differently. So some people can get it, bounce right back. He got him, served his 10 days, and he was still weak. He was still, so that thing was a 3-game issue for Amari Cooper. Okay, 3 games. It affected him for a 3-game period of our season this year. So I'm not, knocking, whatever, because I mean, we also got to look at what the rest of his life too. You can't compartmentalize, something to 3 weeks, what's in the best interest for 3 weeks versus the rest of their lives. But there's another side to that, but I'm not getting into that right now. But anyhow, to Terrence Steele, and then eventually Mike McCarthy ends up with it. So then there's some strength and conditioning coaches, Joe Philbin, who's the offensive line coach, and his assistant, I think his name is not Youngblood. It's something like that, though. I can't think of his name, but his assistant and whatever. So there was a lot of upheaval at that level going on with the game, with the the game. So you got to put that caveat in there. All right. But you're going against a New Orleans Saints team with number one, starting a quarterback that hadn't played all year. He last played last year. Taysom Hill's not been on. I think he had his bell rung a couple times. He had some foot injuries. I think he has plantar fasciitis, and things of that nature. And so he really hadn't played. They've been playing Trevor Siemian, but I think he got hurt. So it's like you got to do some other things. And so they had him playing. Okay, you didn't have your two tackles. Okay, your two starting tackles. You didn't have Alvin Kamara. They thought he might play, but then he was like a scratch at almost right at kickoff. They decided now he's not going to play. So Alvin Kamara didn't play, and there was I can't think what the defensive lineman. God, what's his name? Didn't play. One of their stars on the defensive line didn't play. Okay, so you're playing a facsimile thereof of the New Orleans Saints. All right, and we go in that game. I know we don't have our core coaches, but the preparation is done throughout the week. That stuff's supposed to already. If you're a team that's on preparation, okay. If you're, because I'll guarantee you, if that's the New England Patriots and they had to do their stuff by Zoom or whatnot, and the coach wasn't there, I guarantee you they're gonna still be just as prepared as they were if. So I'm saying that. But anyhow. So you go into that with that, and so really, the way this game played out was really illustrates the two different ways organizations are ran, and they were put on full display last night. Okay, and I know I may be reaching a little deeper than most of y'all would. Just get to the game. Just get to the game. I'm getting to the game. Okay. But last night was kind of an indictment on how we insist on operating as an organization, both in how the team is getting, the most valuable franchise in professional sports, but they got a COVID outbreak because, when your owner is like trying to stuff as many fans as they can into the stands, not worrying about what happens, then you don't think that don't filter its way into the way they handle things in the building. And so now you hit with about 13 cases. Okay. And one of the things that teams are going to have to navigate with this is that how well they can navigate around the protocols. That's just like navigating around regular injuries. That's a for real thing. It's going to have to be done. Okay. And it's time they start taking that stuff seriously, okay? Because it's going to cause you to miss a game, somebody. And then while we're in the building, you need to do this. If you're this, you need to do that. If you're not this, you need to do that. And adhere to that, okay? Because we need everybody, because what's the best ability? Availability. You need to be there, okay? And so anyhow, this is really an indictment on the way we insist on doing business, okay, versus a team that's doing it really the right way, okay? The Saints are doing it the way it should be done. That's the way it should be done. We're doing it the way we want to do it, okay? And really, as Cowboy fans, I really wished we would I'm not saying form a protest. I'm not saying anything like that, but I mean, you've seen a 25-year sample size of things done one particular way. And it's kind of every year is kind of gone almost kind of the same thing. Okay. We're soft on preparation, high on talent. Always. That's what did Jerry Jones say when he got rid of Jim Johnson? I'll get about 500 guys that can coach this team. What does that mean? That means I'm going to get talent, and it don't really matter who you got pulling the switches. they're going to be talented enough to win. So that means you're going to be lack on preparation because you can just get anybody and we're in an era now where talent is almost a push between teams. There's really not that much talent differential between, you know, dare I say, the New York Jets and the Buffalo Bills, or the New York Jets and say, um, Green Bay Packers. Really not that much talent differential. I mean, they got the quarterback and stuff, but I mean, for other than that, it's really the talent level. What's the secret sauce? The secret sauce is in the preparation. That's where games are won and lost. Situational things. That's where games are won and lost. Okay. You can have the most talent on the field. If your team ain't prepared, don't know his opponent, don't pay attention to the details, a team with less talent than you that's prepared will beat you. Hard work beats talent when talent don't play hard, or something like that. And we don't put a premium on preparation. Why do you think Jerry Jones insists on hiring walking stiffs as coaches? Nobody with a pulse, nobody with a game plan, nobody with a direction. You won't see a Sean McVay, you won't see a Sean Payton, you won't see a Bill Belichick, you won't see a Nick Saban, you won't see a guy like that. But you'll see a Dave Campbell. You'll see a you got Bill Parcells. That's it for 3 seasons. I think they just did that to get the stadium built. You'll see a Wade Phillips, who just happy to get the job. You'll get a Jason Garrett. Good job, guys. You'll get that, and you'll get a Mike McCarthy. He just stands in and holds a clipboard. Okay. You need to hire a difference maker at the coaching level. Got the guy that can fire up, get fires started within the players, and the players respect, almost fear. You need that, okay? Because you need that, okay? But he won't hire that because that guy will get too much credit at this stage of the game. Jerry Jones still wants to get credit. Yeah, I got to get credit. I got to do this thing my way. Okay. And what I would be hoping was that Jerry Jones would be like King Solomon. I don't want to get too biblical on y'all. I do some, Bible teaching type stuff too. I get into that stuff too. So sometimes those things apply in everyday life. A lot of times they do. But King Solomon was one of the most powerful kings in Israel. And he did all these things when he was young and he was powerful, had all these nations underneath him and had all this stuff. And then when he got old, when he wrote the book of Ecclesiastes, he had gotten old. He was more reflective. And you start thinking about, a lot of things I thought when I was 20, 30, and 40, I thought was important. I look back now and realizing I got more sand in my hourglass at the top than I have at the bottom. More at the bottom than I have at the top. I had it right first time. What I was gonna say. It means you ain't got that much sand to come through before the hourglass is open. So Jerry at 79 or however old he is, should realize, look, man, I ain't got too many more of these. I might need to be reflective. Like, you know what? Being in front, having the last say on all these things, being involved in the everyday operations, giving my 2 cents on who should play. Maybe all that ain't as important. As I don't have too many more cracks at this thing. Okay. Y'all see where I'm going with this? All week long. Yeah, I think Zeke needs to play. And Zeke should have sat last night and would have had like 10, 12 days off the rest of that nigga. We're going to need him for the stretch run. Just because you paid him $15 million. I don't, that was your choice. You didn't have to pay him that, but that's neither there. So, we get you get that going, and so then you got all this stuff, and do you have to have a radio show, Jerry? Do you have to answer every question when they throw a mic in your face? would it be just as easy to say, well, you know what, it's not about me, it's about them guys over there. They need to do, they're prepared, they're gonna win it, and I'm gonna sit back and I'm gonna watch, I'm gonna enjoy every bit of it. I would love for him to take that stance, as every other NFL owner does. That's how they do it. Okay. So we get to the game. When you factor in, we got some challenges with the coaching staff and all that kind of stuff. You got that going, and then they got their stuff going on with a lot of guys they got injured. Now you factor in, if we were to play the New Orleans Saints at our building, and they come in with Jameis Winston, they got their 2 tackles, they got Alvin Kamara and Mark Ingram, and they got all their defensive guys playing and all that stuff, and they're playing us, and we don't have that, and we got Cooper Rush, we don't have Lyle Collins or Tyron Smith, and we don't have, say, Michael Parsons on defense. Okay, what the heck do you think gonna happen to us? I just want y'all to be honest with yourselves. What do you think would happen? You think we keep that game close? You think we'll game plan and detail that game good enough to keep that game close? Or will we get beat 35-17 or 35-3 or something like that? I'm going with the latter. Okay. So we come into this game, we got our guy, we got almost our full complement of guys, except Amari Cooper's probably like 15-20%, whatever. But as far as the rest of the guys, we even had Tank Lawrence. Welcome back, number 90. Well, we needed you. And he played well too. But man, we did not play well whatsoever. And it was an indictment on, and so we got Dan Quinn playing the role of head coach. He comes down out the box, he comes down on the field, he does that thing, he got his hat backwards, he's engaged in the game. I do like that part though. He was fired up and stuff. I do like that. But as you watch the game unfold, and we're not going to spend a whole lot of time on the guy. I just wanted to tell you why I was feeling like I was feeling. But really, the Saints, to be honest, kind of outplayed us. I mean, they really did. They was going up and down the field on us. First down after first down after first down after first down. And dare I say, if Tyson Hill could throw the football with any kind of, they might could have won that game with the way game planned us. Okay. We came in with talent. They came in with a plan. Okay. They came in with 3 wheels and a plan. We came in with all our wheels and no direction. Just, hey, we're just going, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. I don't know. Dak did not have a good game. I know his numbers, I think it was like 26 of 40 for 238, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. But do you know in the second half, he was 7 of 16 for 61 yards and a pick. Did not look well. In fact, we had like 3 first downs in the second half. Offensive line getting knocked back into not playing physical, okay, being dictated to. Now Zach Martin said on the week leading up to the game that the offensive line, the running woes is for the most. You can say it's on Zeke but it's on us. Teams aren't doing anything different than we hadn't seen. They stunting and stuff, moving stuff. But we've seen it all the time. We got to adjust to that, and they still did. Okay, they still didn't. But if you got a coach that's a fire, gets after guys, gets up, I guarantee you, if Jimmy Johnson was coaching this team, he'd get up underneath Connor McGovern and Lyle and some of the other guys and Tyler. Like, dude, get can you get with it? You quit getting knocked backwards. Can you like give a blow instead of taking them? And maybe we, because the tail of the tape tells it. First 5-6 games of the season, we was averaging 164 yards a game rushing. Last 5 games, averaging about 82 yards a game. One of the worst teams in the NFL rushing the football. There are a lot of factors involved in that. And that's kind of like when a couple of things start taking place. That's like when Blake Jarwin got hurt and we couldn't run our customary 12 personnel with 2 tight ends because that we was eating that up. But then Blake Jarwin got hurt with a hip injury and went on injured reserve. So you end up bringing in, what's his name, McKenna, kind of unproven. He's not and he kind of not the same as the other guys and whatnot. Is that's when we start not being able to run the ball. We start Dak started to be less effective, but he was mastering that 12 personnel. Kellen Moore and Dak, and then they was mastering that 12 personnel. And that's about the time when Lyle Collins came back from his suspension, and they started playing musical chairs with the offensive line. So you had a couple of different variables going on together. And that's when the offense started to go south. Now, I know they had that good game against the Atlanta Falcons, but heck, it's the Atlanta Falcons, okay? All right? You don't get no points for that. But so from that point on, when they started the carousel, we're going to bring Lyle Collins in. Oh, no, we're going to bring Terrence Steele in. Oh, we're going to move, we're going to put Tyron Smith out and dude, you're not good enough to do stuff like that. That's not a defensive line. That's an offensive line. They got to play together and get continuity. They play off of each other. You can't just, plug and play with those guys. It's not the same thing. Organizational arrogance. What are you doing? And, now we can't seem to find a formula that we can run the football good and whatnot. So when you watch the game, you realize that when, the Saints were able to sustain offense, move the football. And, Tyson Hill, he's not a great thrower, but he was, I think, 19 to 41, 265. He threw for more yards than Dak did. Threw for more touchdowns than Dak did. Threw 2 touchdown passes. And realistically, the Cowboys really came down to about 4 plays. We made 4 splash plays, and that was the difference in us winning. And really that comes down to just talent. That ain't preparation. That's just talent. My guy is better than the guy that's covering him on that particular play, and he's going to make that play. Okay. First drive, well, not about the 4th drive of the game. We went 3 and out like our first 2 or 3 down. I'm like, what are we running here? No creativity on that. I don't know what Kellen Moore is doing with the offense. Okay. But about the 3rd or 4th opportunity we got the ball, it came down to 3 plays. And Dak went 41 yards. Amari Cooper made a nice move on a dig route inside and got 41 yards on that, and really wasn't much else the rest of the game, but that was a great play. Shows you how good that guy can be at route running. Dak hit him right on the numbers. Shows you just how much trust Dak has in Amari. Hit that very next play, tunnel screen to CeeDee Lamb on the sideline. He weaves through, gets down to the 1-yard line. Very next play, Dak throws a featherly pass off, and Michael Gallup comes down. Ballerina steps his feet, falls out of bounds. Touchdown. Those 3 plays involving all 3 of our weapons on offense. And, first with Amari, then CeeDee, then Gallup. Touchdown, just like that. But, the next 2 or 3 drive, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. Can't really. And then on defense, you really got Taysom Hill and some guys running the football. Just some dude named Little John Humphrey or something like that. Beating us for touchdowns. Getting guys wide open. That's just you not schemed well. You're not prepared. They running some stuff you didn't think they was gonna do. That's Sean Payton for you. Sean Payton is a detail-oriented coach. He gonna find some coverages. No, they ain't be able to cover this on this. I'm gonna run this wag route on here, and it's gonna be wide and it's wide open because you didn't prepare for that. Okay, busted coverage. When you get a busted coverage, somebody you something in the film study, something in the preparation, you didn't prepare for that. They hit you with something you didn't think was coming. Okay. And so they did that. And then, so it's 7-7. And then we get run a couple of plays and get a field goal. It's 10-7. I'm like, dude, this game, we should have beat them 35-7, to be honest. When you look at if we were as prepared as we should have been, and I do know there's been some games this year that the favorite teams have put in stinkers. Buffalo and with the Jaguars, the Raiders with the Giants, the Titans with the Texans, the Titans with the Jets. These things have happened. The Titans, the Jets beat the Titans with Derrick Henry. Okay. So that that goes without saying. I'm not getting that one, but and so it's 13-7 at halftime. They get a little field goal at halftime, and it's 13-7, and then and I'm gonna tell you something. With 8 minutes and 40 some odd seconds to go in the third quarter, Taysom Hill had them boys. Now, he ran for 100 yards, so he threw for like 260 and ran for like 100 and like 1 yard. And that's what he does. Okay, he runs the football. Okay. So, I mean, and I know I've heard other people say, well, it's different when you play somebody like that for the first time. It's a one of, you're not playing nobody else with that same skill set. So I do get all that stuff. But he still ran for 100 yards. So I can't give you no say. And then he hit a lot of third downs and stuff you got to get off the field. Got him down within like the 18, 19 play. And Taquan Smith had beat somebody, and that was a touchdown if he just throws it right now. We do know early in the game, Taysom Hill hit his finger on Dorrance Armstrong's arm on his follow through on one of his throws, and he sprung his middle finger on his throwing hand. So his throws coming. Now he's not a polished thrower anyway, but you get your middle finger on your throwing hand sprung, your throw is gonna be off. You're gonna make some, but it's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a lot of them that's gonna be way off. That would have been a touchdown. Okay. And it would have been 14-13. They would have had the lead. And who knows what will happen. Now we do know a couple of plays later. I just gave you 3 of the plays we made on a play at the 42-yard line. Pitch out to Tony Pollard, cuts through. And what's his name? What's the guy's name? I can't think. It wasn't Hargraves. Cuts inside of him, goes down the sideline, and was gone. And that's a question you might need to ask yourselves too. If that guy can do that, why can't we find ways to get him the ball in the open field? Find and design ways to get that dude the ball and get some mismatches, because he can make some things happen. Zeke should have sat this game. Them 16 carries for 40 yards. What did he really do in that game? He could have sat this game, and we don't play next Sunday. We don't play until the next Sunday. He'd have had, about 12 days off to get this self healthy for the stretch run. Tony Pollard, the 100-yard kickoff last week, and then this 58-yard run was the longest run we done had since 2017, I think. Made it 20-10. And that was really pretty much the ball game right there, because now we're up 2 scores. And then later in the game, you start seeing when you're up 2 scores and you've taken the run element out of the game, now talent can really take hold of the game. And there wasn't no accident that from that point on, Taysom Hill threw 4 interceptions. Through that one Jaron Curse did. Boy, that was spectacular. Caught the thing, and I thought it was a routine overthrow and whatnot. No, he caught that thing, got them feet down, fell out of bounds, and got that one. And then after I think one of the interceptions, I want to say it was the one that KZ got, and we went 3 plays and punt. We ran it, got 5 yards, and then threw it and ran 12 seconds off the clock. Come on, dude. I know we're not running the ball, but Dan, can you not mix in some mixed direction or something to get? You got 5 yards on first down. Let's get a couple, because really, that's when you have to understand the run game is like this. Yeah, I'm getting 1 and 2 yards here, first quarter, second quarter. 1 and 2, 1 and 3 yards, first and second quarter. But by the time the fourth quarter get in, them body blows start to add up, and the accumulative effect, the attrition level of banging into this guy for 4 quarters, them 2 and 3 yard runs become 5, 6, 7, 8 yard runs. Okay, because nobody likes to be having that contact constantly. But what we do, we get a negative play, but we're not coming back that no more. And we got to stop that. We got to establish the running game. We have to establish that. It's a toughness. It's a mindset. It's an attitude. We play passive. We play finesse ball. Finesse ball gonna get you beat come playoff times. I'm just gonna tell you that. Okay. So when that happened, after that Tony Pollard run, then you start seeing them getting pressure. You see that Michael Parsons. That Michael Parsons sack of 13 yards, that knocked them out of field goal range. They had to punt. Okay. And then, a lot of these other things end up happening, and then Diggs end up getting him one because they got to throw now. Now I can play coverage. I can, and then the one the coup de grace was that one that Carlos Watkins got. Big man with football. I love that. And he's like, no, dude, you're not bringing me down. He got him a touchdown. So we got 4 interceptions. Right? So in the end, talent won the game. But don't get it twisted, because the New Orleans Saints, even with all their, players out, do not play, still got 405 yards on us. Think about that. They still got us for 400 yards of offense. Are you happy with that? With Taysom Hill and some guy running back, some guys running back. Little Jordan Humphrey. I said John Humphrey. Little Jordan Humphrey, Taquan Smith, and guys you never heard of. Yeah. And they got us for 400 yards. We only got 377. 17 first downs. They got 17 first downs. They were 5 of 14 on third down, which, not that, but considering the personnel they got on the field, we was 2 of 13. Okay. Now we ended up with 153 yards, 48 yards running the football. That's a misnomer. That 58-yard run by Tony Pollard, and they credited that tunnel screen that Dak threw in the first quarter that really was a screen pass. They labeled that as a lateral, and that's a running play. So you got 58 and 33. Isn't that like 91 yards on 2 plays? It's 91 yards on 2 plays. So out of that 146 yards, 93 of that was on 2 plays. So that's like 58 yards on the rest of the carries, on like 22 attempts for like 58 yards. You feel good about that? Numbers look good. Ooh, they went for 146 yards. No. Tony Pollard made a splash play, and CeeDee Lamb made a splash play. That's a talent thing. Okay. When you can go 8, 9, 7, 8, 9 yards, you sustain drives, that's preparation. Okay. So they beat us on preparation. We beat them on talent. And so Jerry has the talent game. That's what he runs, the talent game. I can get about 500 different guys that can coach this team. And don't get me wrong, since Jerry Jones has taken over, they have gotten talent. There's been a whirlwind of talent that has come through the Star, or Valley Ranch, or whatever it's being called. A ton of talent. Okay. I believe with the right coaching and the right, discipline in the locker room, I think we could have won some Super Bowls in the Tony Romo era. Okay. Because they allowed him to be free falling and free whatever, and didn't make him be disciplined. We didn't commit to the game early. There were games Tony Romo threw the ball 53, 54 times. What are you doing in a one-score game? Because Jerry thinks throwing the ball is box office, popcorn. But you gotta win the football game. Okay. And Jerry's all about the circus and all this kind of stuff. And why else you think in the Thanksgiving game they had Michael Buffer calling the game to be doing the "Let's get ready to rumble"? Really? The circus atmosphere that he brings. I just don't think that helps us. I mean, at the end of the day, as a Cowboy fan, you have to think to yourself: does this really help us or hurt us? Does insisting that he be on radio shows touting all these things and whatnot, does that really help us? Are we really getting a bonus of that? Or we look at the game last night, we're like, yeah, we got the most talent, but we got worked. If they had their guys, they'd have beat us by 3 touchdowns, 2-3 touchdowns. Okay. because the defense still held us in check for most of the game. We got a couple of splash plays. Let's not get that thing twisted. Okay, we did not sustain offense at all in that game. Okay, and we got gassed a few times on defense. And at the end, when we was up 2 scores, yeah, now we can hunt the quarterback and we can play coverage. And they made plays in the passing game, against them. That's why they won the game. That's why we won the game. Okay, but I'm not shaking no pom-poms about that, because that's an indictment on what we are as a football team. What Jerry insists on putting in front of you as the fan. As long as it's a good game and we got a lot of smoke and mirrors, they still coming. They still gonna spend $75 for a hot dog and $100 to park, because that's the kind of. At some point, you got to start demanding more as a fan. I'm sorry. Start demanding more. Shoot, if I'm gonna pay $75 for a hot dog, at least can I have some mustard on it? Can I have some relish or something on it? If I'm gonna pay that much, can I have something with that? Or you just gonna charge me $75 for average? That's what you got. That's what you got to start looking at. Now I done browbeated them. I done gave all of this gloom and doom. Now, like a parent, I'm gonna say, but look, this team got potential. Okay. We do have good defensive personnel. We do have some guys coming back. We do have 10 days off to rest and recuperate. Okay. When we come back to play a week from Sunday against the Washington football team in FedEx Field. I know my man Mark Holmes is doing a tailgate there, man. I wish you all the success and with all that stuff, man. I wish I could go, but we're gonna have everybody back, man. Okay. Offensive line, all of the offensive linemen are gonna be back. I predict Terrence Steele will probably be back and whatnot. I predict that Zeke will be healthier than he will be today. I predict Amari Cooper will be back. He basically only had 2 plays. That first 41-yard pass in the first half and a 1-yard run. I think he had 2 catches for like 41 yards. I think the other was a 9-yard that they tried to do right before the half. And he really wasn't, he wasn't himself. But maybe with 10 days off, maybe when we get him back next Sunday, he'll be 85%. And we'll have Gallup. We'll have Cedric Wilson, who was a scratch today for his ankle. We'll have, we might even have Blake Jarwin back, come that time. We're talking about 10 days now from now. And let's see where this thing goes. All right. Yeah, we're not put together right. All right. Parts are thrown together to a certain degree, and it's not really put together with a lot of care. And the detail, a few weeks ago, I put together a grill that my wife bought. And I took the time to make sure that all the things was put, all the washers was where they're supposed to be and all this kind of stuff. I didn't skip no steps or whatnot. But if I'd have missed some steps here and there and then some things have been a little wobbly, I bet you still could have cooked some stuff on the grill and still would have been effective. Okay. So what I'm trying to tell you is that we can still be effective with this team we got. This team comes together. We got a lot of things working against us. We didn't have our coaching staff. I get all that, and we did not play well last night. It still won. And trust me, all wins are good wins. Okay. There are no wins you want to give back to them. No, we'll take that win. We're 8-4. Okay. We'll take that win. We'll take that dub. All right. But looking forward with the guys we got coming back. Okay. Maybe, if enough people will say, look, man, we got to start playing smarter. We got to start playing more physical, because I'm telling you, as December come along, yeah, you got to play physical. There ain't going to be no finesse ball. It's going to be cold weather, bad weather games. You're not going to be throwing the ball 40 times, okay? This running game, y'all better get it in the gear, okay? But we're going to have the guys to do that, all right? So what I think we're going to still be okay. I still think we might not lose, but maybe one more game this year. I don't know which one it is. Maybe Arizona, maybe at Washington but I'm not thinking that. I'm thinking we're going to be ready to play come next Sunday at Washington. We'll get our coach back, which I don't know how much that's worth. I still think that, I still don't know what Mike McCarthy does. He don't call plays. He don't do, he don't, he can't manage clocks. And the clock was managed pretty good last night. I saw that, He don't have any fire on the sideline. I mean, what does he really add? Like I said, Jerry just hires guys just to be placeholders. Hire a difference maker. That's the thing I'm talking about. Hire a difference maker. Quit hiring wet blankets. Quit hiring milk toast. Hire a difference maker, because you got talent. And when you don't prepare guys and you got talent, you basically wasting talent. You wasting those guys' years, man. They could be getting more toothpaste out of that tube. You throwing it away with half the toothpaste still in the tube, man. Get the most out of the players that you got, that you paid. You're paying this big money. Don't you want to get the most out of them? Don't you want to get the most out of Zeke? Don't you want to get the most out of Amari? Don't you want to get the most out of Dak? You paid them these enormous contracts. Don't you want to get the most out of them in their time spent at Dallas? Or you want to be like DeMarcus Ware and had to go to Denver to win the Super Bowl? Okay. Or what's the linebacker's name? Had to go to Kansas City to win a Super Bowl. He was here for God, what is his name? Me and names. Golly, cannot think of his name. Saved my life. But he still plays for them. He's like one of the leaders of their defense, their linebackers. Anthony Hitchens. What's his name? Had to go to Kansas City to win a Super Bowl. Man. Organizations, how an organization is built. But setting that aside for right now, I'm looking forward to. I can't do nothing about that now. We in this season right now. We're in it. We have what we have. We got the players we have. We got the coaches we have. We have the organization we have. What do we do going forward? So what I look at going forward, what I see, we're going to get Randy Gregory back next week. We're going to have DeMarcus Lawrence, a game in his belt, back next week to play with Micah Parsons. And I'm going to love the way that Quinn could mix and match and do some things and exotic coverages and blitzes and things of that nature, knowing you got all these guys at your disposal that you can use. You got more tools in your toolbox now to work. But the offense got to come strong with that. Dak, I'm going to need you to be better than that, man. I'm just sorry. Love me some Dak Prescott. I got a Dak jersey. I got one of my favorite players in the NFL. Actually, the favorite player in the NFL, being a Cowboy fan. Dak, you got to get better, bro. When the throws to be made, man, you can't be throwing balls at guys' feet, throwing it behind guys. That pick you threw, man, come on, dude. What was you throwing with that? And then a little while later, about 2 possessions later, Marcus Williams should have had a pick on the sideline. We was trying to fit that in. What are you doing, Dak? With that? I'm gonna need you to be better, man, going in the month of December. You demanded the money that you got. Now you got to play. Now, folks, we got to hold your feet to the fire. Now, I'm not gonna sugarcoat you. That's not this kind of podcast. That's not this kind of YouTube channel. Okay, I don't pom. Okay, I make assessments. I don't pom. You want pom? Go check with somebody else. Okay, I'm not pom-pomming you. Okay. Dak, you got to be better. Kellen Moore, you got to be better. Okay. I'm gonna need you to be more time and score oriented with your play calling. Okay. Offensive line, I'm gonna need y'all to play more physical. Okay. Zeke, I'm gonna need you to get your knee looked at. And Kevin, I'm gonna need you to find ways to get Tony Pollard the football. That's like a head scratcher. This dude can do this. He's showing you he's got burst. Find ways to get that dude the football in space against linebackers and stuff, in formations and stuff where he get in the lab, figure that stuff out. Okay, but I think we're gonna be fine. I know this sounds disjointed. Like, man, he's bloviating 1 minute, but yeah, if you're a parent, that's what you do. Yeah, you're gonna like, because you know that they can do better. You got a student that's got A potential, and he's bringing home C-. So yeah, you get in their butt. But at the end of the day, you pat him on the behind. Come on, man. I know you can do it. Let's get it. I know you can do better. I know you're gonna ace this next one. And so that's how I am with the Cowboys. Yeah, I'm busting your yeah, you know what's because of that performance last night because it was not good. Okay, it was an indictment on how we played it, it's an indictment on our organizational structure. It's an indictment on all those things. All those things went full display last night. Okay, there ain't nothing we can do about that now. We're in the middle of a season, so we got to play the cards we've been dealt. So we've been hit with that, and then you got COVID, you got these other things, you got injuries, but over the horizon, I see the sun breaking. All right, getting guys back. Okay, we're gonna have against Washington. We're gonna have a full complement of guys. Then we get the Giants at East Rutherford and MetLife Stadium. I think that's how that thing goes. And I think we play Washington again back at Dallas. Okay, I'm 3 games. If we go 3-0 in them games, I think we're fine. Okay, let's win all 3 of them games. Let's make it a point to win them 3 games. Put ourselves at 11-4, and you know. And then we're gonna be then we got Arizona and then we got Philadelphia. I think that's how that thing rounds out. Okay, but yeah, we didn't play good last night. All right, I'm upset with things, and I think that puts on display where we're at as an organization. But we're in the season now. We got to win what we can do now. What we got now. We can't get rid of the GM now. We can't fire the coach now. We can't bring in a great coach now. We can't start. We can't start preparing better. We can't start doing film better. And I think maybe that was a wake-up call last night that, hey, man, if we don't prepare well, even teams, like that can challenge us and could potentially beat us. So maybe we'll get that. But that's all I got today. After having time to sleep on it. So yeah, I think if we play this thing right and guys play like we're supposed to be able to play, I still think we can win some games. But yeah, I'm gonna tell it like I see it. If I ain't like what you put out there, I'm gonna tell it. I ain't like that. That was horse. You know what? Okay. But let's see if we can win the rest of our games. At least 4 of the next 5. I think we got 5 games left. 6 games. 8, 4, it's 12, right? 12. 5 games left. Okay. Let's get them. Let's get 4 of them. Okay. Let's get 4 of these 5. Okay. Let's be 13-4, 12-5. Let's do that. Okay. And I think we can do that. That's all I got from the desk, Uncle Fred. Cowboys win 27-17. Wasn't a good win, but a win that we'll take. So that's all I got. Y'all take care, and I'll see you. Oh, please don't. Please like, comment, subscribe, be a part of the Uncle Fred experience. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. If you want good content, you want to hear the real, you don't want to hear fluff, don't want to hear cotton candy and pom-poms, you want to hear good football analysis and assessments. And I'll give you a little story every now and then too. A little bit, keep you smiling. Uncle Fred is the way to go. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch y'all in the next video on the other side.